Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to discuss the optimal choice of the consumer. The second chapter, optimal choice of the customer or consumer. So, what do you mean by optimal choice of the customer here? The optimal choice means which is the best, which gives him maximum satisfaction with available resources, that we can say it as optimal, his optimal choice. Which, if we are discussing about bundles, which contains two products and his resource is limited, when he have many bundles in the market, which bundle gives him a maximum satisfaction? If we go with that bundle, we can call it as optimal choice of a customer, in which that bundle giving him maximum satisfaction. So how to find out what is his, which bundle he has to select, what is his optimum choice? To understand that, we should know five things here. To understand the optimal choice of customer, which is his best choice, to understand that, as I said, we need to understand five things. The first one is customer is a rational customer. He is rational. And his preferences are monotonic. And third one is we need to understand here is indifference curve. And fourth one, indifference map. And fifth one, we need to understand the budget line. So as we already know and discussed what is indifference curve. And we also know indifference map, what do you mean by that, and what is budget line. So we will again just have a brief idea on what do you mean by all these things and what is rational, who is a rational consumer, what do you mean by rationalism, and what is monotonic preferences. What do you mean by monotonic preferences? So we'll try to understand these five terms. If we understand this, then we can decide which bundle gives him maximum satisfaction. That we call it as optimal choice of a consumer or customer. So first thing here is, who is a rational consumer? What do you mean by rational here? When the consumer has a resource, income, and bundles are available, so when his income is X here and the bundles are available in the market, so he has to select between the bundles, correct? So rational consumer means the selection of the bundles depends on his taste and preferences. He knows what is good for him and what is not good for him, what is bad for him, what is good for him. That is why I always say that it is very interesting. Just observe the advertisements. when we have a producers or market people, how they will sell their product, correct? They always use USP, unique selling proposition. What is unique in their good? They want to project that in such a way that the consumer should go for their good or the product. So to sell that product, if they want to use this technique to highlight their uniqueness, they have to understand consumers' behavior. Remember this, all these, the producers and the market people, they always, there is R&D team, research and development team. Their work is this only. Just collect the data, go for a surveys, ask consumers' taste and preferences. That is what we are talking now. Their taste and preferences. What is their expectation? What they are expecting, and what is their need, and what is their want. Taste, preferences, wants, needs. We can name in this way, and which gives him maximum utility or satisfaction. So this department always find out the answer for these questions. What is his taste? What is his preference? What is his willingness? What is his need and want? And which product gives him satisfaction? So, as I said, this department does all these things and provide the information to producers. And when they have the information, what they will do, they will develop the concept and give that to ad agencies. So they will give that concept to ad agencies to develop a advertisement which can pull the consumers toward their product. So we know this COVID pandemic, correct? That is why I said, observe you and me all are at home most of the times, and we are not unnecessarily going out, and we have a sufficient time, and we will watch the TV or mobiles or spend time with family. So when we have a time watching the TV, you observe the advertisements, ads. So it is very interesting. Observe the ads, try to understand what they are saying. They take all the information from R&D and give it to ad agencies to project their goods using this USP, unique selling proposition. Now, I have taken this example, COVID. So if you see any product, they either want to sell that product saying it kills germs, or it boosts immunity. Either they say our product kills germs or our product boosts the immunity. Correct? For example, you see the health drinks. We can say Complan, Boost, Horlicks, all those things. They are telling this concept now. Complan पीने से हाइट बढ़ जाएगा, वो पहले का. Now Complan पियो, आपका इम्यूनिटी बढ़ेगा. Consumer drink, your immunity will improve. Okay. Now, any detergent soaps or hand wash or sanitizers, we can understand sanitizer will kill the germs, that is made for that purpose only. But if you see now, Rin or Tide, how they were projecting their product, it gives you the maximum cleanliness. It makes your cloth very white. Correct? They were concentrating before on removing the dirt. But now, if you see the ads, they will tell that use our product, it will kill the germs. Now the shift is from cleaning and keeping it very clean. It means whiter. Now it shifted to killing towards germs. Correct? And if you see any other product, even I wondered when I saw the ad saying some XYZ company, the product is fan, ceiling fan, and they said a fan is made in such a way that it won't keep the germs. It will not get affected by germs. What we can say, it will not take the germs into it. The germs will not go and stick on the pankas, the leaves, you can say. So a fan will not allow germs to enter into home at all. That's how they are projecting. You can see this. So like that. This is related to COVID, and we have so many other products. And always I will tell this example. When we are thirsty, what is our need? To quench the thirst, right? To quench the thirst, what we have to do? We have to drink the water. That is basic need. But we have cool drinks. Is it a need for us? No. But still they want to sell their product. It's not a basic need, but still they want to sell their product. And what is there in it? Nothing. In cool drinks, you don't find any good thing in it. But still, how we can sell that product? Correct? Then they will use this USP. Taste the thunder. Thunder को taste करो by having your drink. अगर प्यास लगे तो पानी मत पियो. Taste the thunder. Thunder को अंदर उतार दो. तो उसमें क्या है? कुछ नहीं है. But how they are projecting their product? Taste the thunder. And the youth, they'll get motivated and they'll go for it. And what are the other products you can see? डर के आगे जीत है. Like that. If you observe, you will find out so many examples. If I keep on telling on those advertisements, it's very interesting. An entire class, not only this class, we need so many classes to discuss all those things. It's very interesting. That's why, not to deviate from our topic, I'll stop here. But I suggest observe the advertisement, understand the behavior, how these producers and market people, what they are doing. It's very interesting to understand. So what I mean to say is, rational consumer, he knows what is good and bad and which product or which bundle wants to select. When he knows that, that's why they do all these studies and they shift from whiter clothes to killing the germs. Correct? Because the rational consumer prefers this now, killing the germ rather than whiter clothes in this present situation. So here, rational consumer means the consumer who knows what is good and what is bad for him, and he will select such a bundle which gives him maximum satisfaction. So that person is a rational consumer. And what do you mean by monotonic preferences? As we already discussed, monotonic preferences means, again, in the market, I already mentioned this, in the market we have two bundles. Bundle X, this one, which contains X1 and X2 product, and bundle 2, which contains Y1 and Y2 product. Okay? Now suppose if any of one good, we have two goods, right? Any of one good is more than the good in the other bundle. What I mean to say here is we have 3, 8. I number here this second bundle and this is first bundle. Second bundle has two goods. The first good, the quantity is 3 and second good, the quantity is 8 here. This is second bundle. And first bundle, we have x1 5 in quantity, x2 8 in quantity. So the monotonic preferences means when consumer is offered two bundles, and if one bundle, the one good of the bundle is greater than other good in second bundle. If this is greater than this and keeping the other good same, if the x2 and y2 the quantity is same, but when we compare to x1 and y1, the x1 quantity is more than y1 quantity, then consumer prefers this bundle, x1 and x2 bundle, because he is getting more number of x1 good here. This nature we call it as monotonic preferences. And we know indifference curve. Indifference curve means there are so many bundles, as we know, n number of bundles we have in the market, but we will try to find out the set of bundles these are the bundles, and we have many bundles here. But when I draw the curve, when I join the points, these bundles only give him same satisfaction, same utility. That is what we call the indifference curve. Indifference means his utility is indifference on these bundles. Correct? We have many bundles, but on these bundles, his utility or satisfaction is same. That curve we call it as indifference curve. Now, what do you mean by indifference curve? As we see so many bundles, when what is consumer's preference over many bundles? What is his preference over many bundles represented by family of indifference curve? These bundles represented by family of indifference curves. So when we have these indifference curve, what is his preference over these bundles? So that we call it as indifference map. Correct? When we give him these two, he will go with this. When we give him these two curves or the bundle on these two curves, he will always go with the bundles which are on this curve. Correct? That we call it as indifference map. And what do you mean by budget line? Budget line. So you have to understand this very clearly. The difference between indifference curve and budget line. Here, same utility. Bundles gives him same utility. Bundles gives him same utilities. We will only select those bundles. But in budget line, bundles cost equal to income. Here we will select only bundles which gives him same utility, same satisfaction. As I said here, these are the bundles which gives him same satisfaction. But what do you mean by budget line? Budget line is where the bundles cost if his income is X, then we have the bundles here. These bundles, if we select the cost of these bundles is are always equal to his income. That is why we write it as the bundle contains two goods, right? X1 and X2. The price into quantity of X1, price into quantity of X2, it should be equal to income of the consumer. So here the bundle's cost always equal to his income. So these are the bundles where his income is equal to the bundle cost. If you join these bundles points, you will get a line. That line we call it as budget line. But here you will get a bundle. Here also bundles are there. Here also bundles are there. These bundles give him the same satisfaction level. But these bundles here, this bundle's cost is equal to his income level. So that we need to understand. Now we know what is rational, who is rational consumer, and what is monotonic preferences, and what is indifference curve, what is indifference map, and what is budget line. All these things. Correct? Now when we know these things, then we can understand what is optimal choice of consumer or customer. Quickly, I'll write what do you mean by these things. I'll write using the terms you specified in the book so that we can write it neatly. Instead of him or her. Here, consumer, the individual who knows what is good or bad for him. And he always choose which gives him maximum satisfaction. Rational consumer is a consumer who knows what is good or bad for him or her, and he always choose the products which gives him maximum satisfaction. This we call it as rational. Then, what do you mean by monotonic preferences? As we know, when we offer two bundles, if one of the quantity in bundle is greater than the quantity of other bundle, then consumer will prefer the first bundle. That nature we call it as monotonic nature. So I can put this in this way. If two bundles are given, X1, X2 and Y1, Y2. Then if X1, X2 has, if when two bundles are given, then if X1 and X2, this bundle, if it has more of at least one of the goods and no less of the other good compared to y1 and y2, then he will go with x1 x2 bundle. So monotonic preferences means if two bundles are given, two bundles are here, x1 x2 and y1 y2, then if x1 and x2 bundle, if this bundle has more of at least one of the goods, it has more of at least one of the goods. There are two goods, at least one of the good is more compared to other bundle. The x1 is more when compared to y1 and no less of the other good compared to y1 and y2. It means that here a bundle, a good in this bundle, it is greater, it is more compared to y1. It doesn't mean that x2 is less compared to y2. It doesn't mean that x1 is more compared to y1 and also the x2 should be equal to y2. x2 and y2 should be same and x1 should be more than y1. x1 का quantity y1 से ज़्यादा है and x2 and y2 quantity are same, then he will prefer the x1 and y2, x1 and x2 bundle. That we call it as monotonic preferences. Now I'll write what do you mean by indifference curve. The consumer is said to be indifferent on the different bundles because each point of the bundles gives the consumer equal utility. The consumer is said to be indifferent on the different bundles because each point of the bundle gives him the equal utility. Different bundles we will take here. We have different bundles. Each point of the bundle gives the consumer equal utility. All these points give the consumer equal utility X. So that is why these bundles, if you join, we call it as indifference curve. Now, what do you mean by indifference map? These are very important to understand optimal choice. That's why I'm again writing this. This is a revision as well to understand monotonic preferences. Here we are covering again what do you mean by monotonic preferences, indifference curve, indifference map, budget line. We again discuss all these topics, and with the help of these things, we're trying to understand the optimal choice of a customer here. What do you mean by indifference map? Consumers preference over all the bundles that can be represented by family of indifferent curves called indifference map. I know these letters are very small and it's very difficult for you guys to read this. That's why I'm reading on behalf of you so that you can hear my voice, you can listen to me and understand. Okay, so now indifference map means the consumer's preferences over all the bundles can be represented by family of indifference curve. The family of indifference curve, we have many bundles. We have many bundles here. If we join this, we'll get different indifference curves. The family of indifference curves. This is, I can say, IC1, IC2, and IC3. The family of indifference curve. What is consumer preference over these indifference curves? If we represent all the family of indifference curve, we call it as indifference map. Right? Now, the last point is budget line. So what do you mean by budget line? Budget line means the bundles which the cost of the bundles equal to the income of the consumer. The cost of the bundle is equal to income of the consumer. I'll use the same words here. The line consists of all bundles which cost exactly equal to income of consumer. You can say it is here customer or consumer. Consumer is a nice word to use instead of customer. Fine. So now we know rational, monotonic, indifference curve, indifference map, and budget line. Rational means the consumer knows good and bad about the product, and he always goes with the optimal. He always select a bundle which gives him maximum satisfaction. And monotonic means when two bundles are given, this bundle and this bundle, if the quantity of this good is more than quantity of this, and other goods are same in quantity, then consumer select this bundle because the X1 quantity is more than Y1 quantity. This nature we call it as monotonic differences, and indifference curve is the curves. I'll read this. The consumer is said to be indifference on the different bundle because each point of the bundle gives the consumer equal utility. If we have a different bundles and if these bundles give him an equal utility, then this curve we call it as indifference curve. And what do you mean by indifference map? If we have a family of indifference curves, and what is consumer's preference amongst these bundles, which represents indifference curve. This family of indifference curve we call it as indifference map, and budget line is if the line considers all the bundles which cost exactly equal to income of the consumer. The bundles which cost exactly equal to income of the consumer. This is budget line. These are the indifference curve, and family of indifference curve is indifference map. So we know all these terms. Then the optimum choice of the consumer is I'll wipe it out. Now I will draw indifference curve because we need this, and I will draw indifference map also. This concept also we need. Now we have three indifference curves gives us indifference map: IC1, IC2, and IC3. Correct? So we know what do you mean by indifference curve? I already said indifference curve means what and indifference map means what. Same satisfaction level if we join all those bundles. And this is budget line where we have set of different bundles which cost equal to his income. Correct? Here the cost of the bundle is equal to income. Here the satisfaction level is always same when compared to the different bundles, set of bundles. Now when you have these many bundles, which one is the best? Which gives him maximum satisfaction? Which is his optimal choice? Which one he has to select? As we know, we have so many bundles here. So when this is a scenario, the problem of the consumer here is, here we have bundles, here we have bundles, we have so many bundles. Which one gives me maximum utilization? Which one I need to select here? The economist says this. The optimum selection of a consumer is this one. I'll tell that we have indifference curves, okay, and we will combine these now. We will combine these concepts here. We have indifference curve and together indifference map we have, and I have budget line. Now I will draw the budget line also. This is indifference curve 1, this is indifference curve 2, and this is indifference curve 3, and this is budget line. Okay. Now we know what is budget line, we know indifference curve. Same satisfaction on indifference curve, satisfaction level is same, and on this budget line, the cost of the bundle is equal to income of the consumer. So which bundle gives him maximum satisfaction? So here the concept here is the consumer's optimal choice should be this bundle, where the budget line is tangent to indifference curve. The point where the budget line is tangent to the budget line, just touching the indifference curve. The point where the budget line is just touching the indifference curve, that point gives him the maximum satisfaction. So that is his optimal choice. This bundle, I will say X1 star, because this is maximum satisfaction, that's why I mentioned star. X1 star, X2 star. The bundle which contains X1 star and X2 star, this is the bundle which gives him maximum satisfaction. That is why this is his optimal choice. This bundle should be his optimal choice. This gives him maximum satisfaction. The bundle or the point where budget line tangent to the indifference curve. Here the budget line is cutting this indifference curve in these 2 points, but these 2 bundles will not give him maximum satisfaction. This bundle where the budget line is just touching this indifference curve, or we can say this budget line is tangent to this indifference curve, this point gives him a maximum satisfaction. So this is his optimal choice. Clear? So now I'll write this in word how we can understand this. See, few more topics here to understand. So we have these bundles also. Okay, that's why. So, sir, you said 5 things we need to remember. One thing, indifference curve. We understood that concept we are using here, and indifference map. That concept also we are using here. And one more concept, budget line, that also we are using here. 3 concepts we use now. Now there are 2 points, rationalism and monotonic preferences. Rationalism is he know what is good and bad, and he will always go with the bundle which gives him maximum satisfaction. So why can't we select these bundles? Because of this nature and this nature. Here this bundle gives him more products compared to these bundles, correct? And with his available income he can select this bundle, because the cost of this bundle is equal to his income here, because this bundle is on budget line. So he can go with this bundle. Why he should select other bundles? These bundles are inferior to him. He will feel inferior if we go with these bundles, because he always prefer this. He is monotonic in differences, so he will not select these bundles. He always go with this bundle because of these natures. Okay, and we can also ask this question: why can't he select these bundles with available resources? These bundles are not. He's not able. He's not capable of buying these bundles. They are superior, or he cannot go with those bundles because of his limited resources. Those bundles doesn't come under this budget line, where the bundle's cost is equal to his income. These are outside the budget line. It means that these bundles cost is more than the income. That's why he can't go with these bundles either. So that is why the curve and the line where the budget line just touches the indifference curve, this point gives him a maximum satisfaction and he can go with this bundle. Got it? He can't go with this bundle because he is monotonic and it is inferior, and he cannot go with these bundles because he cannot offer those bundles because of his limited resources. So we can say the optimum bundle of the consumer is located at the point where the budget line is tangent to one of the indifference curve. So this is it. The optimum bundle of the consumer. What is his optimal choice? Which is his optimal bundle? This is his optimal bundle because it is located at the point. It is located at the point where the budget line is tangent to one of the IC curve. The point where the point is located where the budget line is tangent to one of the IC curves. The budget line is tangent to which IC curve here is the IC curve 2, indifference curve 2. The budget line is tangent to IC curve 2, and where we get this point using optimum bundle. Okay, I'll read this. The optimum bundle of the consumer is the optimum bundle. It is located at the point. This optimum bundle is located at the point where this budget line is tangent to any of the indifference curve. We have 3 indifference curve. We have indifference map here, where the point where this budget line is tangent to indifference curve. This point uses optimum bundles. So this he can go with this bundle. We call it as optimal choice. So here we understood indifference map, indifference curves, budget line, his monotonic preferences, and his rational nature. So all these things we understood, and we understood optimal choice of consumer here, which is his optimum bundle. Okay, I'll stop here. For other topics, we will discuss in the next class. Thank you. Have a good day.